just these next two games here, what are you trying to see in the team? Or are you looking at still looking at guys that maybe have roster decisions that are coming up that you want to see whether or not that decision?
I'd like to win both games.
Yeah.
I like to win both games. You get a chance. This isn't like I'm not handing out passes for like free passes to go and play. You're going to play because you deserve to play, and you're going to help us win. That's why. I'm not changing my. I've never put a team together on the field to just someone's birthday's today, so I'm going to give them. I just never have done that. I'm not going to start doing that now. This is, being in this spot is not normal for our club, but I'm not changing the way we go about picking the team and getting ready for a game. We still have 2 games to play, and we're going to give everything we have to make it hard, and we want to win.
John mentioned the mindset of using these 2 games as like our next season starts now. Like, how much in these 2 games do you feel like a team can set themselves up for, especially some of the guys who will be back next year, can set themselves up for what's coming next year?
I'm only about finishing off this season, so I'm not thinking about next year at the moment. I'm finishing this season. That's where I'm at.
I know where he was kind of questioning is like some coaches would use the last games to kind of evaluate different players or experiment, but they've had their chance to be evaluated, right?
We're evaluating players every game, every day of training, all the time. I mean, we're always evaluating players. I mean, it never stops. It's our profession. It's the way of this business. It's just the way it goes. You're always evaluating players because you're not as good as your last game. You're as good as your next game, and that's what you're trying to get ready for. And so, it's every training, every game. You're always deciding whether or not a guy has played well, or what he's got to work on, what he's got to get better at, or what does the team have to do better. All those things what you're doing.
Not just in training, but in games, almost every player on the roster has had significant time this year because of injuries or rotation or whatnot.
I mean, you guys tell me the stats, but I think we've had a different lineup in every game this year.
It's been, I think, last 23 or last 32 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, for you especially, who's been around here a long time, and you know me. I'm a very consistent lineup to lineup. Unfortunately, we never got that consistency because we weren't good enough. One day we'd be really good at scoring, and the next day we're really bad at defending, and then the next time we defend well, we ain't putting the ball in the back. And so to not have that on a consistent basis, and then guys being out here and there and whatever, it leads to inconsistency, and that's one of the big reasons for our results as well.
Will we see Joaquin in these last couple of games?
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so, because he's in full training, so I hope so.
Salvador out there in training today.
He was actually surprising because all the stuff that he did. Like I wouldn't look at him, as just an innocent bystander coming up and going, that guy's injured, and he looks fine. So hopefully he's back ready too as well.
And then I saw Casti, Allen, Tommy, and Danny out. Where are they? Allen. Well, sorry, we'll go with Allen and
a bunch of guys are sick.
Okay.
Have like little things. Staff members sick as well, if you want to know.
They catch something in St. Louis.
I think there's like a little 24-hour virus going around. So.
Yeah, so I was curious with the inconsistency you talked a little bit about there. Has it kind of just been inconsistency all around the field for what you've seen from your guys?
Well, I would just put it in the 2 places. Either we're really good in the attack, or we're really poor defensively, and vice versa. Like we're not creating the chances, but we're good defensively. But then you're not, we've given up way too. I mean, we all know. I mean, we've given up way too many points when we're in leads, and that to me that comes down to defending. And look, and teams that win championships, you have to be good defensively, and we're not.
Any thoughts on the 2 team? They're kind of in they must win this weekend to stand a chance to go to the playoffs, I believe.
Yeah, they must win. Yeah. Yes, you're correct. I'm with you.
Just any thoughts on how they've done, I guess?
I think with that team, winning is important, but I think development of players is everything to play in the first team. So that'll be the assessment at the end.
I mean, I know you're busy here, but you also watch a little bit of everything. Have you seen guys down there develop to the point where they're in that consideration? I know
There's certain players that have, there's certain players that play in the second team that grow, but I think across the board it's the same thing with the first team. Like, we as a staff have to do a better job, whether it's working with the guys that we have or finding new players to go and do what needs to be done. And same thing with our second team, same thing with our academy as well. All that has to continue to get better, because I wouldn't feel comfortable saying, "Oh, things are going really well." I just don't feel that way, because our results aren't where they should be, and if they're not, then there's something that's not right, and we have to get better in all areas.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.